And so we'll do the classic format of back and forth, 1-on-1. The loser moves ahead in the Labor's Challenge. All right, Bish. Let's see what you got here. Oh, yeah, okay, that's not bad. Oh, yeah, all right. I'm hoping. What are you doing? Smelling it? Is that just from smelling it? Don't get it on your nice shirt.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Oh, my God.
Are you okay? You okay?
This is the BWF Wrestling Podcast. With your host and the leader of the BWF Nation, the King, Susan's Little Babu, the undisputed BWF Champion, Aaron Bish.
Hello, BWF Nation. Welcome to another episode of the BWF Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Aaron Bishop, aka the Bish.
Okay, that's enough. What is this? This is pathetic. I can't believe that some hot sauce destroyed you like this. I got it from here. Hey BWF Nation, this is G. Patrick Condon, the co-host of the BWF Wrestling Podcast, here with this man, quote unquote, Aaron Bishop. Bish, you're a little worse for wear this week. Hopefully you'll be able to still carry us to the finish line. Tell us what your last week has been like.
It's been a living hell. It's so hard to talk. It's hard to breathe. I mean, I can
here we go.
Lift up my championship. Oh my God, look at this here. Fuck. Yes. I can barely get it on my shoulders.
This is sad.
I mean, it's been rough, man, but I appreciate for all of our listeners who have reached out asking about my welfare, my well-being. I will get over this. This is only a temporary setback.
Ouch.
God, it hurts. It fucking hurts.
I can tell.
Kids, do not gargle or chug hot sauce at home. It will fuck you up.
Clearly, yes. I hear that you also got into some trouble with your family, too, because of your shenanigans last week.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, the father-in-law, he's not happy with me. I'm going to have to deal with that over Christmas.
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear all that. In the meantime, if our people that are coming across this want to make Aaron's Christmas a little bit easier, by all means, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, turn on the notifications, and why don't you wish Aaron a get better or whatever it is that he'd like. And while you're at it, those medical costs, they must be building up for you, Aaron. So this week only, all donations to our Ko-fi.com/BWF Wrestling Podcast, they go directly to you and your family to make sure that you can be on the mend. How about that?
Thank you. That's greatly appreciated. Every dollar helps. I know that our YouTube channel, The Hunting Party, has been very helpful as well. They've reached out and they've helped. I cannot say enough good things about The Hunting Party channel.
Yes.
So please subscribe to them.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Glad to hear that they reached out. They have been doing their part to try to be part of community building more, and so this obviously goes along with it. Aaron, if you can, why don't you just give us a little sneak peek of what we got going on this week? And if you can't, then I guess I can do it. Do you think you could do it?
I'll try. It's okay. I got this.
All right. I believe in you.
So we're going to go with a Canadian theme this week, more specifically East Coast Canada. We have our Newfoundland flag right here. We're going
Spy.
We're going to be doing a deep dive into the most successful professional wrestler to ever come out of Newfoundland, Canada, and that is Sailor White, also known as Moondog King.
That's right. Champion in the WWWF. And I don't know that there's a better, bigger wrestler to have ever come out of Atlantic Canada. No. We're also talking to a gentleman that is running a fairly new promotion, I think, in PEI, which is another Atlantic Canadian province, an indie production. What's the name of this gentleman and his federation? Do you remember?
His name is Doug. Holy God. Sorry, his name is Doug, and the name of the federation is Island Pro Wrestling.
IPW, yes.
IPW.
Yeah, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that. Doug gives us all kinds of hilarious stories on the wrestlers that he's worked with in the past. He's a hard worker, too. Should also note to our viewers that this was pre-recorded ages ago, so Aaron... it's not going to be in this condition for that. But I guess the show must go on. And
Indeed.
With that, let's start it off with news. Aaron, what's going on in the world of professional wrestling today? Now, before you start talking, I want you to try your best, because we still got that podcast, and you're not going to be able to listen to you get on with this bullshit for an hour. So try your best to just speak normally, for the love of God, will you?
All right, fine. This week in the BWF Weekend Review, independent wrestler Casey Huffman has stopped the WWE in their tracks with the usage of the word yeet. Casey trademarked this word back in 2021, and now the WWE cannot use the word on any merch or on TV, and it's a big hit for Jay Uso, who's finally getting over with the crowd. Everybody loves him. This is just one thing that the crowd love to do with him, chant the yeet. A little roadblock in his career, but probably not going to matter too much in the long run. What do you think?
Well, we'll see. I mean, everybody sort of got on LA Knight for just being a and people had the same criticisms about Daniel Bryan for his yes chant. So if Jay truly is main event Jay, he'll be able to get past not being able to use the word yeet. But you can't stop the fans from saying it, and they're really the ones that got it over, You can't stop these guys from yeeting every time Jay throws a punch. And just to update this story right now as we are recording, I'm reading here on report per Fightful that Casey Huffman is suspending his trademark. And so the word is back in play. And Jay Uso has apparently delighted in this news by tweeting the word yeet on the Usos X page. So trademark application for yeet is now listed as dead application, refused, dismissed, or invalidated. So maybe yeet is back.
Wow. Just like that, Yeet goes from obscurity back into relevance. I wonder if he got paid for that.
I hope so. I hope so.
Too. Yeah. That man is.
Yeah. He doesn't need to get a whole lot or whatever, but I mean, but I'm sure, these guys got millions of dollars. I'm sure he's not going to get $1 million, but if he got a bit of a payday, I mean, he's an indie wrestler, and we've shown his picture on here while you were doing your show. I mean, it doesn't seem like he was going to make much of a career out of it anyways, and it's hard, frankly, to find any information. We tried to talk to him, and no response. His pages haven't been updated in a while.
So it is what it is. Hope he gets his payday, and good luck in your future endeavors.
What else we got?
Also this week, Ken Shamrock has signed a Legends contract with the WWE. I was a huge Shamrock mark back in the day, so I'm glad to see him back. But rumor is that he's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Nice. That makes sense. I mean, with Endeavor now owning WWE, Shamrock was the first guy to bring that sort of Ultimate Fighter
awareness.
I mean, the tap out, that he started that, and I noticed after I got out of wrestling in the mid 2000s and came back, I noticed that that the style of wrestling is now heavily influenced by MMA, and finishing moves like Daniel Bryan's running kick or whatever. Like, I mean, I can remember just being like, that's the finishing move now. My finishing moves were like all like power slams and stuff like that. So I think that Ken Shamrock has had a lot of impact in wrestling, and so well deserved. Makes sense.
Like Kurt Angle would have never had the ankle lock probably if it wasn't for Ken Shamrock.
No, and certainly not the tap out. I mean, before Ken, when wrestlers submitted, it was a verbal thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so really brought something to it to see guys now tap out and really kind of, I don't want to use the word legitimize because it didn't legitimize, but it brought a new element
of realism.
Yeah, especially like you talk about Kurt Angle, like his match with Shawn Michaels. I mean, a lot of drama in that match was how close Shawn's hand came to the mat to tap out.
He's holding his hand, preventing himself from tapping out and all that stuff, biting his hand, biting his knuckles, just clawing, everything. Yeah.
It's good stuff. And I got to say, like, I remember Ken Shamrock, like, I remember wondering how insane he really was. Like, he did a whole lot of stuff where he was snapping after matches and stuff, and he was really good at being unhinged. So it's nice to see that he'll get his due.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Ken Shamrock. I know you're watching, buddy. I can't wait to see you.
Yeah, I know, Ken. You've been with us since day one, card-carrying member of the BWF Nation. And just goes to show, Bish, that the sooner you come aboard our nation, the sooner you get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. So, just saying. Sid Udi, if you're out there, it's time.
That may be true for one guest in our future. I'm not going to announce anything yet, obviously, but hopefully in the new year we have a big name on the show for an interview, and I'm hoping that this person will be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and it's going to be because of us.
Yeah, that's good. I love this, that we got this new gimmick now of you announcing that we got big wrestlers coming on to the show. And like, I believe last week you made some big proclamations. You even named Kevin Sullivan as being on the show. No Kevin Sullivan this week. Aaron, can we get a bit of an update on where we're at with that?
Yes, I got a message today from Andrew Anderson, the nephew of Ole and Ern, Purple Haze, and he said, Tuesday, they promise. No more rescheduling, no more theatrics, no more bullshit. Tuesday evening, we will get our interview with Kevin Sullivan and the Purple Haze.
Wow, that's amazing. And Good on you for that. And then we got this other guy coming up in the new year. So big things ahead for the BWF. Aaron, where are we going to next?
We are going to The Real Deal.
Of course, yes. All right, just 1 second here.
No worries. In the meantime, fans, if you want to check out all of our archived episodes, please head over to the BWFpodcast.com. Over there, as I said, you can see all of our archived episodes, plus the newest episode streaming on the website. Every single week. Go to Ko-fi to buy us a coffee and send in your questions to our email, bwfpodcasts@gmail.com, to be entered to win this beautiful, or a belt similar to this beautiful BWF championship that I so proudly hold over my shoulder.
Fantastic stuff, Aaron. Okay, so yes, the Real Deal coming back strong this week. You have a whole lot of things for the December 9th. And now let's try and get through all this. Okay.
Got things here.
So, wow. We're starting off with, looks like Deadpool. And, wow. Oh, they caught him. That's good. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
I really was not expecting that.
I know, right?
Nice.
And off the basketball net, I thought that was pretty impressive. So get some kudos this week on The Real Deal.
Cool. Where was do you remember offhand where this came from?
Most of my stuff comes from Pro Wrestling World.
Okay, but you don't know the actual federation.
No, sorry.
Well, my goodness.
But Masters of Pain.
Oh, this is the Undertaker's very first match ever.
That's right. Master of Pain. Because where I've been the last 5 years, you have to know how to handle pain. And I know it better than anybody. I've been in the Atlanta State Penitentiary. And I'm not ashamed to know it. I went up there on a bad rap because two punks jumped me in a parking lot. And now they're pushing up daisies. And let me tell you, Jerry Lawler, whatever you call yourself, it doesn't matter to me. Like I said, names aren't important where I'm from. But I tell you what, Ricky Morton sent me here, and I'm going to do a job for him. And brother, if you get out alive, you'll be thankful.
Master of Pain. Don't know his name. Not sure I want to.
Was awful. Thank you for sharing that. That was really bad. That was almost as bad as the Yip guy. You remember that promo?
Yeah. But this match is actually kind of cool, though, too. We don't have to watch it or anything. We don't have to go through it. Yeah. But you can find it on YouTube. You actually kind of see the beginnings of The Undertaker. He does his flying, clothesline kind of thing.
Yeah, he's moving around pretty good in there. I'll give him that. I mean, he straight up says he's going to that he's killed somebody, and then the funniest thing is he says Jerry Lawler or whatever you want to call yourself. What is that? I think Jerry Lawler is his name, isn't it? He probably meant to say King, the King, or whatever, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. He just got a little flustered.
Yeah, he was a little nervous. Big Red's a little nervous.
There's his leg drop.
Yeah, he's moving around.
That was a stomp. He does his leg drop, though.
And boom. So that's a good little find there.
Yeah, but that was interesting.
And it just goes to show to all you wrestlers that are watching us right now, I mean, from humble beginnings, right? You don't have to be great out of the gate.
That's somewhere.
Speaking of which. Okay.
Which one is this?
This is sort of your classic indie wrestling. That is actually GCW. So that's sort of the peak of indie wrestling. There was a period of time, I think in 2021, I guess you could call it their peak, because whoever the big guy was had the Dark Side of the Ring show on. Nick Gage. Did you see that?
Backstage. I did not see that particular episode, but I'm a big fan of the series.
It's good. It got me to watch a couple of their pay-per-views. One was in a barn, and they had one of the Rock and Roll Express out there. It was the production value was not good, but that's sort of what you come to expect. All right, now we got Charlotte Flair injures her knee on a Spanish Fly. What's this?
This happened this past week on SmackDown. This happened, last night, yesterday.
Ugh.
Watch it again here now. Yeah, it's brutal looking, and she's actually injured. Apparently, she fucked her knee. Yeah,
you got a "you fucked up" chant going.
Yeah, you fucked up chant. Yeah, she almost died. She legit injured her neck and her knee on that move.
And you got some neck beard in the audience trying to get a "you fucked up" chant.
Right. Jesus.
And Toyota with a drop kick from hell to finish us out this week. What's the wow.
Just a brutal looking fucking drop. Oh my god, is her neck broke or what? Oh my god, that looks sick.
That's a great sell job. They right on their neck. I've never seen somebody get drop kicked like ass over tea kettle like that.
So yeah,
there you go. That's it, is it? That's the real deal.
That's it. That's it for this week. Yeah,
nice, good stuff. Oh wait, now I got a button for that.
You do have a button for that.
I forgot to applaud myself this week because I had to carry the intro due to your injury. All right, Aaron.
All right. Yeah.
How's that holding up, by the way? How's your neck?
Oh, man, it fucking hurts. It hurts so bad.
You're a trooper, man. You're a trooper. Appreciate it. I feel bad, and I just want to apologize, but not hold any legal responsibility over what happened. Glad you didn't die on air, bud.
Me too, man. Fuck, not gonna lie, that shit was scary. That was let's be real for a second. That was fucking scary shit. Like I saw stars for a second. I thought I was literally gonna die. So I'm very much glad and happy to be here, not only with you, but with the BWF Nation doing the thing that we love the most, and that's talk wrestling.
That's right. And speaking of which, where are we going now? We going to our interview next?
Yes, let's roll to our interview. As we mentioned in the intro, we have Doug from PEI. He is the owner, promoter of Island Pro Wrestling, IPW. Enjoy. Thank you, BWF Nation, for joining us this week again. We have a very special guest. We have the owner of the IPW from PEI. Here we have Doug. Doug, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Hey, how are you guys?
How's it going? Yes. Mr. Doug Parker. So, Doug, thanks for coming on and talking with us about the ongoings of what it's like to run a wrestling promotion.
Lots of headaches. You want one?
Well, why don't you start off by telling us how you got into wrestling, where your desire to be involved in the world of pro wrestling began.
Yeah, actually, this is a good. Oh, sorry, you guys are gonna like this one. I actually started with Grand Prix Wrestling.
Oh, okay,
cool. Yeah,
I was just happened to go to a show, and I started helping out with the shows and started doing the sound for them. And I was with them for one season. Then I went off to a different company. I moved to Halifax and seen a show there, and I went and started nosing around, and and then I went from there. And then I moved back to PEI about probably 7 years ago, and just sitting here watching all the wrestling stuff going around in the Maritimes, and I decided it was time for PEI to have a new thing to happen. So I decided to start my own back in 2021.
Oh, cool. And so what was the independent wrestling scene like in PEI before you got involved?
There's only been one company here that's been here for years. I won't talk about them too much. No, they've been here for quite a while, and but I thought it was time for a change. And I've had people ask me because everybody knows that I've been doing this for a long time. I'm getting on close to 20 years, and people know that I've been around a long time, and I've worked with a lot of WWE guys. And I was talking to you guys behind the scenes there the other day, and I was showing you some of the guys I've worked with. So I've been pretty fortunate.
Yeah. Do you have a good Honky Tonk Man story you can tell?
Oh boy. Yeah, but I'll probably get in trouble if I tell any. Actually, I sang karaoke with them.
Oh, really? That must have been something else. What song did you sing?
Honky Tonk Man of all songs.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yep.
That's amazing.
We were in Ontario for a show one time up there. This is when I first started with this other company I worked with, and I didn't believe that he knew the Honky Tonk Man. So we went up to Ontario. So we got to meet him up there, and poor Wayne. I never seen anybody eat so much chicken in my life as Wayne. 2 buckets of chicken. Oh my good God.
Yeah.
And these guys, at least they only eat the skin. I don't know why some of these guys don't. Oh, what happened? There we are.
No, you're still here. Yeah.
They only eat the skin? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I've seen these guys, and I don't know why a lot of people do it. So they eat the skin of the chicken and never the chicken. The chicken's what you want.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I always heard that wrestlers, they eat chicken, like they try to find as much chicken as possible because of the protein, but that's probably more new school stuff, not what they were doing back in Honky Tonk's day.
No, I thought it was the weirdest thing I ever seen. Plus 48 beers, so it was quite an interesting evening.
Wow, yeah. So how talk a little bit about what goes into promoting a show. Have you been bringing in sort of bigger names to PEI, and has that been difficult?
I actually hooked up with a friend of mine from the United States who was a wrestler, and I told you I was talking to you guys the other day about him. You guys should get him on too. He's been all around the world, and he's been helping me getting some of these guys. And I actually had Carlito here earlier this summer.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's awesome.
2 weeks before he came here, he was on Backlash.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, yes, I'm a genius. And the show's been pretty good. We drew 800 for the 2 shows, so I was pretty happy.
That's really good.
Yeah, 400 a show, which is good for an indie show, I think. But we did well with him, and I've been lucky there. I had Fandango here over the summer too. I had Santino here last year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's a real nice guy, Santino. So yeah, it was a great time.
Is he as funny backstage and in real life as he is on camera?
No, very serious.
No,
He's all
very serious.
all serious in business. That's what they're all. Most of them I find are like, of a lot of them I worked with, most of them are business guys, and that's what they do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've worked with a lot of guys that like that. I've worked with a few guys that have come up here. Oh boy, I can't tell these stories, but anyway, I'm going to say the Nasty Boys. That's all I'm going with that one.
Oh no.
Nasty Boys are fairly infamous. So when you're talking to these guys and getting them to come to PEI, I've talked to promoters from Newfoundland, and I'd imagine it's kind of the same sort of thing where it's like, okay, you got to tell them where PEI is, and then what do they expect, and what is the interactions with you? Like, are they telling you up front, like, this is what I'm going to do, I won't do this, who they want to work with, or what kind of conversation goes on?
Well, basically, my guy is doing all the legwork for me because he's the one that gets everybody there. And nice video. And what I've been finding out with a lot of them, like they're easy to get along with, but they only do want to wrestle with guys who are actually properly trained that have been wrestling for like 15 years plus. And I'm finding that too. But other than that, they've been really good. Like otherwise, like getting the guys here, they've been great.
So who is it that Carlito is facing here in this video? This is you guys, right? This is your Sussex show?
Yeah, that would have been Wesley Pipes.
Okay, where's he from? Wesley Pipes.
Cool name. He's from St. John, New Brunswick.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, he's my champion right now.
Yeah, he's got a good look to him. You know, I mean, there's some of the indie shows you go to, some of the guys look like they don't really do much of they look like they're eating chicken skin instead of chicken breasts, right? But Wesley looks like he's got it going on. And
if you looked at my posters, I sent you a couple of my posters, you guys. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I just was going to. Oh, okay, yeah. If you look at some of my posters, you'll see that my guys all look like wrestlers, and a lot of these posters, the guys on there do not look like they belong on a wrestling poster.
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of the thing. And so, what's it like working with these guys? Like a guy like Wesley, like he's obviously wants to, get to international audience, that sort of thing. So, like how far in advance can you plan with him? Does he wrestle with other companies in North America or in Canada, Atlantic Canada?
Yep. He wrestles in New Brunswick with a few other companies. He wrestles in Mexico. He goes to what's it called? IWPG. Am I right on that one, or something like that? He wrestles with them. Yeah.
Oh, the guys in Los Angeles?
No, Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Down in Mexico, he's been down there. He goes to Maine. Actually, my belt has been defended in the U.S. Actually,
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and he was supposed to take it to Mexico, but he didn't have enough room. So I can legitimately say that I'm actually a world title.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
Sorry, do you have problems booking with him? Because I know like you have people like Carlito coming in, and you want him to look strong, and Carlito probably wants to look strong. So do you ever have problems like that where booking finish might be an issue?
No, actually, I never have any. None. I've never had any issues because he's pretty good. He's been around for a long time, like I have, and I actually met him probably about 15, 16 years ago at another promotion. That's how I know him so well. And like I said, I've been around a long time, and I never have an issue with anybody wanting to be in. This person wants to wrestle this person. Like we'll say, like an example would be the local guys. Like I don't want to wrestle this person, but you know what? I never have any issues with that. Nice.
The production value of your videos are really good. What goes into that? Do you have guys? Are you doing it yourself? Because it's very cinematic here.
Yeah, I have a guy in New Brunswick that specializes in the videos, and yeah, he was doing them for the first couple of years, and now this year I haven't. I'm going to have students videotaping, and I have an editing program. I'm going to do all the shows myself now.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what's the fan situation like? Shows here in St. John's too, like they run in primarily they run all in St. John's. It's not a whole lot of traveling. They will occasionally go out of town, but for the most part they're running kind of the same building, and so they're drawing the same fans. They got fans that really, really take this stuff seriously. Like is that what you find with the fans of PEI too?
I've been bouncing around a little bit all over the island there. This year I did, and I finally found my mark on where to go, and that's where we drew really well. And yeah, and there comes Carlito coming up, actually.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
That's
sorry. So yeah. So with a place like PEI, are you guys you're running primarily in one town now? You think you found your perfect place?
Yeah, I'm going to run. I've got two perfect places. The western part of the PEI draws, and where I just was in September, it drew, and I'm going back there in September with another name.
Right. Okay. Cool. That's awesome, man. You're bringing these names to PEI. The boys wrestling for you must be thrilled. I mean, with the production value and bringing in guys like that, like it's awesome work. How often are you running shows?
Well, this year I'm starting to get better at what we're doing because this year this was my first full year doing it. Like I was only running a sporadic shows here and there, but this year I'm doing. We did 8 shows, I believe, in 2023. Next year I'm running probably to keep the consistent every second month, because I find if you run every month it bores the fans. That's my opinion, but if you run every month, every second month, they're going to keep them interested.
Right.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead first.
You're telling me earlier that you worked with the Heart Foundation, Ted DiBiase, Bruce Beefcake, Bushwhackers, Duggan, Booker T, and a bunch of others. Who was your favorite, or who are some of your favorites that you've had a chance to work with?
You're not going to believe it, but Rick Steiner.
Rick Steiner, really?
Yeah, Rick Steiner was an A1 dude, and Ricky Steamboat.
Ricky Steamboat, I can see. I've actually had the pleasure of meeting Rick. He was a really, really nice guy. But Ricky Steiner, do you have a good story for him?
Yeah, actually, we were out down in Nova Scotia and Bridgewater, and we were just waiting to go to the show, and we just went hiking in the woods together. He's an outdoors guy. We just out walking in the woods and checking things out. It was a great day. I had lost contact with Rick a couple years ago because he's busy now. He's a real estate agent down in Georgia, so I don't bother him that much anymore. Every once in a while, I'll shoot him a message, say hi, but he's always busy. So yeah, I hit off really good with him.
Nice.
Yeah, great guy, and his wife loved the Mother's Coffee, so they can't get that down there. So I was sending him Mother's Coffee from up here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. No, another Ricky was good to be with too. Like I had an old Caravan back then. We had him, Davey Boy Smith in the back, crunched in, and Congo Kong. I think there was 5 of us that crammed that van, and you know what? He never said boo about it. He just loved it because I think he liked being one of the boys that night. And he talked about WrestleMania 3, the best match in my opinion of all time. Him and Savage.
Right. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And it was amazing. I didn't want to get out of the van because I don't like talking the business with them when they're with me because I let them try to enjoy themselves.
Right.
But I usually let them open the dialogue, and I don't usually talk too much about the business when they're here anyway.
So is WrestleMania 3 the Savage Steamboat? That's your favorite match of all time?
Yeah, that'd be my favorite, I think.
And
it's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah. Bish loves that match. So is that like, were you already into watching wrestling by the time that match came on, or was that before?
I started watching wrestling in 1983.
Nice. Oh, wow. That's as old as we are. So 40
yeah,
years.
Okay.
Yeah. 40 years. And so what was it? How were you watching it back in 83? Like, was it weekly TV? How did you get into it?
I think it was just before it started being on the TV every week. It was before Hogan beat the Sheik in 1984 for the title. And it was 83 when the Sheik was fighting, I believe it was Bob Backlund. And I don't even know I can't remember how it was. I was only like 8 or 9 years old back then. So I got hooked.
And so you were watching it, you were hooked, and then it took you until you were up in Alberta. You were saying before you took the leap to get involved. Have you ever have you been in the ring in any capacity as like manager, commissioner? Your role now as owner?
Yep, I've done commissioner work. I was doing ring announcer for 8 years, and what else have I done? I've done the commissioner, the ring announcer, and the manager. It was fun. I've gotten drop kicked. I've got body slammed.
Oh yeah,
I've had her all done.
Yeah, that's why you're laid up on the couch right now. You've the years of abuse.
I'm just so tired. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
amazing.
No, I got.
Do Have you ever worked with Brutus? Brother
Yes.
Brutus? Yeah?
Yeah. Beefcake, he's quite the dude.
Yeah, I was reading somebody's account of driving Brutus in Alberta, I think. He was doing a tour in Alberta years ago, and it was he's just like a wild man, right? Like he's you're kind of your road warrior when it comes to doing the wrestling circuit to this day. Where did you work with him?
Here in Nova Scotia and PEI.
Oh yeah?
I have a funny story to tell you about him.
Please.
Nice.
Oh, it's great. This is the best one. I had him and Billy Gunn driving in a half-ton truck. Okay.
Yeah.
I go for supper with Brutus before the show, and he says you might want to get gas. And I said no, we'll be good. The gas stations will be open when we get done. So we come out from the show. It's like 10 o'clock. Nothing. No gas stations open for 2 hours. The truck was on empty.
Oh
so
my God.
We're driving up the highway heading back towards where we were going, and I'll never forget this to the day I die. I remember Billy Gunn in the backseat said, "You better hope that we don't run out of gas because these big forearms are going to connect with the back of your head." You know what happened? The sweat just started pouring.
Yeah, your eyes on that gas gauge for sure.
We made it.
Yeah.
Nice. Good.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any issues with wrestlers like enjoying themselves too much before it was their time to get into the ring, and like maybe having too many wobbly pops backstage, or have you found that most wrestlers don't really do that kind of stuff?
I found the ones that we've had would never have done anything because most of them are pretty respectful. Actually, I'm pretty tight with the beer stuff and anything. I won't allow it in the backstage before the shows. It's just from experience. I've seen so much stuff go wrong where some wrestlers, the indie wrestlers here, have gotten so drunk that they're busting up a Legion for no reason because they can't see where they're going.
Right.
We have another.
Are you running all ages shows too? Is your promotion like family sort of friendly?
We're family oriented.
Yeah. Right, so you can't have people coming out and busting up Legions and stuff, obviously.
No, I've been in one spot where you can actually smell the weed in the back coming out in the front of there, and people were starting to smell it. And just, what do you do? I'm not the owner of that company, so what are you supposed to do, right?
Yeah. So I'm really interested in hearing like how the logistics and everything that goes on behind the scenes on the day of a show. Like, what kind of stuff are you doing? Are you overseeing the people that are taking tickets and merch stands? Like, are you booking shows, helping people to promos? Like, what's your day like on the day of a show?
Well, we're going to get the ring to pick up the ring, and then we head to the venue. But now I don't have to do that anymore because I have help now. I've gone from 5 staff to 22 this year.
Wow.
And
nice.
Yeah. And and I'll get to your question in a second. I'm proud of what we did this year. The last show we did for this year, we actually made money. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm not scared to tell you how much we made. I said to everybody, if I made $1, I was happy. We walked out of that venue with 300.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, that's tough. Hey, it is tough to make a profit on these shows when you get when you factor in like even just like venue rentals and stuff. Do you own the ring, or is there like one ring that everybody kind of shares, or what's the situation there?
No, we have 2.
Oh, okay.
We have 2. I got my buddy's ring. I just bought a ring earlier this year. But I use his and for nothing. And he's a referee for me. So, but that's what we're going. And sorry about that. I got off track about your question. We go down to the shows. The girls set up the chairs and they set up the merch tables, and the guys are putting the ring up. And then I help out. Like, I'm very anal about my lights and my sound and stuff. Mm-hmm. That's just my background and what I have in my background for broadcasting. So I usually get all that ready, and then the doors open at 6:30 most times, and then bang, the show starts at 7, and off we go to the races.
And
so this year, sorry.
I was just going to ask, like, what kind of stuff can come up during a show that you got to deal with that can sort of throw you for a loop?
The ring broke the last show before it started.
That'll do it. Yep.
Yeah, the bottom rope let go. We couldn't get it fixed. One of the cables let go, and we told everybody in the back to stay off the bottom rope. And then you don't use the bottom rope anyway, but so they.
That's true. Now you mention it. What's even the point of having that? I guess like if you want to grab it to break up a pin or something, that's the only time you'd use that bottom rope, hey?
That's right.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
What does it take to be a wrestler in your federation? Do you think that a guy like me with my jacket, I got the merch, and you got Bishop here, Bishop's got the looks, would we be able to come to PEI and defend Bishop's BWF championship? We're untrained, but Bishop knows how to take a beating.
Oh, boy.
I can take a bump.
You can take a bump. I think we all can take one over the years. I know I can. I know how to do them. So as for being untrained, oh my God, I'd have a fit.
Who's your big tag team? Do you have a big tag team in your Fed?
No, we don't. We haven't got that. We did a couple this year, just the Strong Brothers out of New Brunswick, and that was about it.
Okay, cool. Well, Bish, it sounds like it's a ripe old territory for us to just come in and start calling some shots. I don't know how you feel about that.
Take it over.
I want to go to Newfoundland sometime.
Yeah, you should actually. I mean, PEI and Newfoundland have a lot in common. A lot of sense of humor and character is very similar. I've watched a couple of movies that have come out of PEI recently too. I think that the good promotional crossover could happen here. We got a good indie wrestling scene as well. Yes. Yeah, we got every show that I go to, it's like pretty well attended. People love it. But I mean, what we're finding out too with doing these interviews is that like pretty much every place has indie wrestling there. Like, but it's really fascinating. And people really don't think about it as much, really, but it's something that's like kind of in every town. I know that in Newfoundland, like it draws like Newfoundlanders, draws new Canadians, people from all different types of like economic backgrounds, poor people, rich people, it's a really cool thing.
I'm the poor one.
Not me. I mean, I got hundreds of dollars all over my all over my
I like
shirt.
that actually like that.
If you're a promoter, you don't want to be wearing this. They'll pick you dry.
I've even come down. I even got myself hooked up with a young fella too this year. He was just to help. He just was a fan and ended up being a big help with me. And he actually works in a theater, so he got me lights and everything now, which I had lights before, but not the way I do now. New entrance lights. I bought a drone. The drone's going to be on the next show. It's going to fly. It'll circle the ring automatically by itself in video.
Cool.
So it's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen that before. That's great. I look forward to seeing that.
Hopefully, I can keep it in the air.
You have now running into promotion, or do you have any continuing storylines? Or
yes, I do. Yep. In September we had the IPW Championship match, and actually nobody does. And I don't know if you guys ever noticed this, but nobody does storylines in the Maritimes. I've noticed that, and everybody just throws a show together and says, "Oh, let's throw a show together and let's hope for the best."
Yeah.
So we have. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that there was one of the best wrestling shows I've ever seen, period, was one that Carlito was in that was here in Newfoundland 5 or 6 years ago. And Savio Vega was here for that too. And there was like a through storyline for the entire show. That was Legend City Wrestling. And it was fantastic. And that's why I was curious what it was like working with Carlito for you guys, because it seemed like, for a guy, I mean, he was in wicked shape back then. I'm sure he was for you guys if he was just about to debut. Like, he looked amazing, and he was like just performing, giving so much. He was really made a fan out of me.
Me too, because this is my second time I've worked with him. I worked with him in Halifax before. Yeah. And the sad part was we had to, and I hate this to say this, but we had to delay the show the day that he arrived the day of the show, and his flight was late, so he didn't get in until 6:30 that night. And we were 45 minutes away from the airport, and we had to delay the show till about 7:30, which I hate doing. But we snuck him in the back door. But I'll tell you one thing: when he went through that curtain after being on the pay-per-view, that place went bananas.
Yeah. I mean, and that's just one of the dangers of flying people in. I mean, you guys are on an island too, right? Like, there's no saying if somebody can get in or get out.
Well, one of my guys, he lives in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, and Philadelphia. There, his flight got canceled. Because he always comes a day before, obviously, and his flight got canceled. He drove 14 hours one way. He got here at 3 a.m. and did the show and drove back the next morning. He was tired when he left.
It's amazing. I mean, it's you got to be impressed as somebody that's hiring these guys for their passion to come out and perform. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a WrestleMania thing or if it's working for a couple of hundred people, like you said, or even working for a dozen people in a bar or something like that.
That's right. And I don't know why he called me. He says, "Oh, we got an issue." So I said, "Okay," because he's one of the big names I have, because he's well known around the world right now. But everybody here is starting to know who he is. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, boys, when you got somebody like that, and then he praises you up on his own podcast, on his own thing, doing his own thing the other day, he praised us up. He said we're one of his favorites to work for. So him and I've got a nice bond going on now. He's on his way to, I believe, China in January.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in Australia. He's been all over. He goes. That's what he does full time. He does this full time.
Yeah.
So, and that's Franco Varga.
Franco Varga. Cool. Yeah. And he's helping you guys in the IPW like get a better reputation, maintain a great reputation. I'm sure that goes in you guys drawing bigger names to PEI as well.
Absolutely. And he's been so great to me, like in the last year. Like, he's helped me out a lot. And even though I have connections too from other ones, but he's getting me guys that are current. And that's the thing. Like the one I got coming up, which I'm not saying, you guys know, but
yeah, not announcing yet.
Not announcing it yet.
And that's going to draw big.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It is. It's going to be great. So do you have your eyes on any up and comers? Like, do you have any insight on who you think, either from your own backyard or through word of mouth or whatever? Any guys you got your eye on?
Yeah, actually, we're going to be. There's a school in Moncton that's training, and there's a school down in Halifax. And I actually, for the VIP match, I'm doing a VIP matches in March, and it's going to be the students. The students are going to come and I like to showcase the students.
Yeah,
because so they get used to being there in front of people and wrestling in front of people, right?
Experience, yeah, absolutely.
Experience. You got to have experience.
100%. Yeah. You were saying before that you have continuing storylines. Do you have a favorite that you wrote before or favorite storyline?
What we're doing right now is Wesley Pipes is the champion. He was wrestling. Who's he wrestling? He was wrestling somebody. I forget now, but John O'Ryan. He's a guy who was originally from out west. He lives in Moncton now, and he came in and he attacked him after the bell. And made him, before the bell, and made him lose not lose title, but made him. He attacked him after the show, after the match was over. Sorry, half asleep here.
This guy sounds like a dirty snake to me. What's this guy's name that attacked him? What's his
John
name?
Orion. So John Orion. So I went. You actually.
I'm gonna look him up online. I don't like the cut of this guy's jib. You're not supposed to attack. I don't know. Look, I'm no referee, but my understanding is you're not supposed to attack somebody before or after the bell. Your thoughts on that?
Well, obviously, and that's what I'm trying to say. He come out after the bell was what I meant to say, and I come out and I had words with him, and he's 7 feet tall, pretty much, and I didn't back down. So I'm not telling him
Good
right now.
You.
Yeah. I'm not telling him right now. If he ever hears this, show your face on March 22nd and see what happens there, big fella.
Oh, we'll put that out. Yeah, that's right. You got to stand up for what's right. And you can't have these rule breakers coming in. I mean, you're working your ass off to get the IPW up internationally known. You got Carlito around, and then you got this idiot, 7 foot tall idiot going around hurting your people. Forget that. I respect you.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed. Trust me, I was not impressed.
I respect you standing up for what's right.
I was mad.
Good. And so that's it. And everybody out there, all of the BWF fans, you know that IPW still stands up for what's right. You can't go running rickshaw and attacking people before or after the bell.
That's right. So I'm going to have words with him when I see him again anyway. We've been having words on the internet as it is now, but I told him to show his face in March and see what happens. I gave him the title match just to shut him up.
Well, yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, I got a feeling that your champ, that your guy Wesley Pipes is gonna. It's Wesley, right? That he's taking on for the belt.
Yes.
Wesley's gonna just tune this guy up. I can't wait to see it. What's this guy's name? Bish, we got to get this guy on the show. Tell him a little bit about the rules when it comes to wrestling. You don't attack people before or after the bell. I mean.
Who the fuck do you think he is? Yeah.
I don't know who this guy thinks he is. I can't wait to see Wesley Pipes lay it down. You know what I'm saying? Lay down and pipe. Is that?
It'll happen, boys.
Lay pipe.
You should get Wesley to come out to "Laying Pipe" by David Wilcox. You know that song, right?
Oh, never heard of it.
No. Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna get in touch with Wesley too, because "Laying Pipe" is exactly the song that he needs to come out to. He's a good Canadian boy, David Wilcox.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be quite a show.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Bishop,
Doug,
you got any words for Doug?
Is there anything that you want to say to the fans that they're watching right now before we wrap this up?
Let's support indie wrestling in the Maritimes everywhere.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. Awesome. Doug.
And by the way, boys, I'm going to make a little surprise for you guys if I can.
Please.
I'm going to try to get the big name that I have coming in March to do a little one-on-one with you for a few minutes when I have him here.
That'd be amazing. Appreciate that. I'm very excited for the future for you guys.
Well, I'm trying my best here.
We salute that. We love indie wrestling. We love people who dedicate themselves to it. And we love people that play by the rules. Isn't that right, Bish?
That's right. No rule breakers. No heels around here. Yeah. Everybody watching will have the YouTube channel for Island Pro Wrestling here. And check them out because it's great. Carlito, everything about this promotion is fantastic from what I've seen on YouTube. Nothing but bright things is coming. The sky's the limit, and we look forward to speaking with you again in the future, my friend. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been
nice
a pleasure.
Hat. Love that hat. Beautiful.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
Absolutely.
Have a great evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Wow, Aaron. Thank you, Doug, for giving us a little bit of insight of what goes on in wrestling promotion. I mean, that guy's working so hard, he literally couldn't get up off the couch to talk to us.
No. And it was really cool to hear about his Rick Steiner story, holding hands with Rick Steiner, taking a walk through the woods, taking a little stroll. That was fantastic.
It's Good stuff. It's good stuff, and hopefully we can get this Wesley Pipes on here. It seems like he's a good hand, good future, and what I like most about him is that he doesn't attack people before or after the bell rings, because that is illegal. You're not allowed to do it, and it ruins the spirit of competition to do so.
That's right. Don't be so dastardly to do something like that. To
That's
attack
right.
someone before or after the bell. Who the hell does that anyway? What kind of person attacks someone before or after the bell?
I share your outrage in this, and I think that it's a sign of where society is going. People will point to the ongoing conflicts in the Middle East, or the abundance of sexual imagery in day-to-day life. But I think that as soon as competitions begin to happen before or after the bell rings, I don't know if there's much hope. But we got people like Wesley Pipes fighting the good fight.
Wesley, come on the show, spread the word, get yourself out there. You know, we have to get rid of the world of these people that attack before or after the bell, and we will help you in this journey. Now,
speaking of guys that fight the good fight, when good guys were good guys and bad guys were bad guys, we're talking to a guy that is held in really high esteem here in the city of St. John's, Newfoundland, and it is the focus of our chronicles this week. You ready to do our deal on Sailor White?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if we can get a picture up here in post, but for those of you who do not know...
Well, hold on, Bishop. Jeez, where have you been?
Where have I been? Oh.
We're back. Oh, shit. But, yeah, I was just going to give you some grief for jumping the gun on your own segment. But, anyways, here we are. Sailor White. What do we got? Who is this gentleman?
Well, I don't know if we said if we can do this in post or not, get a picture here of Eastern Canada to show exactly where it is, because I know a lot of people watching this think that Eastern Canada is, Toronto, Montreal, and that there's nothing, past that. But there's lots past that. We have the Eastern Coast, up more eastern than New York. So Newfoundland is this province right here. I'm assuming it's around right here in the picture.
It's the oldest settled place in North America. It's the connection between the New World and the Old World, and from there comes from the fishing community of St. John's comes one Sailor White. Tell us about Sailor White, Ed Sailor White.
Ed Sailor White, yes. So Ed Sailor White, as we said, is from Newfoundland, and he was trained by famous wrestler Gene Knitsky.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Gene, very, very famous back in the day, and he trained a lot of wrestlers, including Triple H. No, that was Killer Kowalski. Fuck. I'm fucking everything up here. Yeah.
All right. I'll cue you up again. So, Bishop, tell us a little bit about Ed Sailor White.
Ed Sailor White comes from Newfoundland, as we mentioned. He was trained by very famous wrestler Gene Knitsky. Gene, very, very famous NWA wrestler back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah,
huge.
Big deal. Yeah. Has great name value. I had no idea that Sailor White was trained by somebody that that had such high esteem.
In such high respect in the business, right? Yeah. It certainly helped him as he traveled across Canada, being trained by Gene. Gene had connections, and so Sailor White said he made his way all across Canada. He became the Canadian champion by defeating Dino Bravo, and he became friends. Yeah.
Cool.
And he became really good friends with Roddy Piper during this time too.
Yeah. So, do you know what wrestling promotions he was wrestling in? Like, was he wrestling in Calgary or Maple Leaf? Or
all the way across at all different promotions all across Canada. There's actually a promo we have right here we can take a look at. If you can cue it up here. Yeah, here we go. This is him as the
going around talking like this. And if you don't be too careful, Shots, you're going back to the mainland in a pine box. And I mean every word of it, Shots.
Thank you, Sailor. Sailor, I don't really understand Von Schott's attitude. I've been talking to Carl, and his whole attitude about the island, the people here, is disgraceful. The guy's a Canadian. He wrestles in the Canadian circuit. He's contending you for the belt, the championship. If it wasn't for the Canadian Association of Wrestling, he wouldn't have an opportunity to even go for the belt. I don't understand this disrespectful attitude that he has. Do you?
There's an old saying, jealousy will get you nowhere. And that's just where it's getting Shots. I am the CWA champion. I'm after defending it throughout Newfoundland. Now, tonight, I'm in Corner Brook. Monday night, I'm in Port aux Basques. Tuesday night, I'm in Deer Lake. Wednesday night, I'm in Lewisport. And Shots, the match I've been waiting for. The rematch in St. John's on a Saturday night, the 26th. This is one match, Shots. No way are you getting away from me. It's a lumberjack match. And I'm going to destroy you if I don't do it before I get back there. Because any time I wrestle, if you win a fair Shots, there's going to be blood. Blood, blood, blood. And not mine this time, Shots. All your blood. As I'm going to rip your heart out, Shots.
Sailor, Carl mentions to me that,
do you have any idea?
Any idea what?
What year is that from?
Oh, what year? It's in the 70s. It's all I know.
And it sounds like it's, they used to, wrestling shows used to go like from one end of the province to the other back in the day, driving across. So it's good of Sailor to work those dates in his promo. First, I'm going to get you in Port aux Basques. Then I'm going to get you in Deer Lake. Then I'm going to get you in Stephenville. And then, next weekend, it's in St. John's.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. That can get the whole province riled right up, man. That's awesome. I wish we kind of had that these days.
Yeah. Well, it all went to hell once people started attacking each other before and after the bell rang, Bishop.
Yeah, that's true.
So the production value of that is actually pretty good. I mean, that's pretty on par with what we saw in the Terry Funk promos with the guy in the background, green screen, and Sailor White is a very hard-looking man as well.
He's a very hard-looking man, yeah, absolutely. He had a life that was hard. He was involved with drugs. He was a heavy drinker, just everything.
And those wrestlers that were doing the circuit back in the 70s, I mean, it's a breed that is pretty much gone at this point because you can't survive living that life. And it's like, whatever bit of money you make at the shows and just like, really, really hard living. Fascinating stuff. So, he had conquered Canada, as we saw. He had conquered Newfoundland. Newfoundland hero in the 70s. Sailor White would go on to the biggest wrestling promotion in the world, the WWWF. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, on the road to the WWF, he would meet up with the Moondog faction, who had many different members over the years. There's Moondog Rex, there's Moondog Cujo. At this point right now, Sarah White would become Moondog King. And they would travel across the states. See, they would even make it their way over to Memphis, where they would terrorize very legendary tag team, the Fabulous Ones, and they would even go on to feud with Jeff Jarrett and Jerry Lawler, who were the tag team champions at the time.
Wow.
They would even, Bill Dundee. They had a really good run in Memphis, and that's where they were discovered by the WWF. But we're going to just take a look at a promo before they've been discovered, very, very quickly, just to give you an idea of the gimmick.
Cal Rudman with a...
You can skip it ahead.
Oh, the odor.
The guy holding the meat bone is Flair.
Do I interview you?
Both holding the meat bone.
Right.
This guy.
Where are you from? Would you tell me?
As if they were dogs. I had no idea.
Everybody out there wants to know about you. Do you like girls? Do you like girls? Do you like girls? Well, that's something you like. Oh, that's terrific. What does it eat for? How do you eat without any teeth? Boy, can you talk? You smell awful bad. I'm not paid enough to do this. This is kind of ridiculous. All right, okay, I quit. Okay. Well,
Wow.
It's riveting stuff.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, like talking him into the building with that. And so, yeah, you see
1970s. Yeah, it's your classic 1970s, like I don't know, terrorizing tag team kind of thing. If you're not a foreign tag team, then I guess you're that.
Dogs, literal dogs. Imagine, and like this is an era where they would have to, or not have to, they decided to live the gimmick outside of the ring. So like, imagine what it was like having to go around with those guys.
Can't. And the only reason why I think that they probably wouldn't let him talk is because of his accent. And they'd probably just say, go out there and just go, rawr, because no one can understand a fucking word you're saying anyway.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, okay. It would get discovered by the WWF. Back then known as the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. They would go on to feud with another legendary name in wrestling lore, and Dominic DeNucci and Rick McGraw. And as we all know, Rick McGraw was the guy who slapped the shit out of the reporter when asked if wrestling was fake.
True?
Yeah.
Are you thinking of Dr. D?
Oh, I'm fucking... God damn it, Dr. Schultz. I'm so
Dr. D. David Schultz.
Rick McGraw was his name. Sorry, I'm thinking of Dr. D. Schultz, who slapped the reporter. My bad. But Rick McGraw is a big name. Dominic DeNucci, he trained a lot of people as well to be future WWF superstars.
All right, so you sent me a 15-minute clip here. We're obviously not going to watch it. What is this, though?
No. What we're about to watch is the Moondogs take on Rick Martel and Tony Garea, who are the WWF Tag Team Champions, and we get to see, for the first and only time in WWF history, a Newfoundlander win championship gold.
I can't believe it.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, here we go. So we have Tony Garea working. Referee's down. Captain Lou Albano is actually the manager for the Moondog at this point.
Oh my! King Moondog with that bone. Struck Garea.
I can't believe it.
We'll say Brad Yushu at the Olympics in 2000 and whatever. People will say Michael Ryder winning the Stanley Cup in 2000, whatever. But this right here, this man pretending he's a dog winning the WWWF championship, that's Newfoundland history. Where's his street? Where's the Sailor White Street or the Moondog King Street, you know? Although there is a King Street in St. John, so maybe we could just start saying that's Sailors, named after Sailor. Vince McMahon on the call. Lou Albano managing him. I mean, those are some real deal stars.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Right before this, Moondog King, Sailor White, he was actually wrestling Intercontinental Champion Pedro Morales at Madison Square Garden. And also he got to wrestle legendary wrestler Mil Mascaras at Madison Square Garden as well. So this man, he's on a roll of a lifetime right here. He's headlining MSG. He's winning the WWF Tag Team Championship belts. You would think that the sky is the limit from here. But alas.
What do you mean, alas?
Alas, things would turn a little bit sour, my friend.
What? Well, what happened?
Well, the WWF made their way to Canada on a tour, and either someone ratted him out or the federal people at the border or whoever, they realized that he was indeed a felon, and he spent time in jail, and that he was involved with drugs. And they would not allow him to cross the border back into the United States, which derailed his career. He was supposed to wrestle Bob Backlund at Madison Square Garden for the WWF Championship.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. So they had to replace him with Moondog Spot, and then the Moondogs became a comedy activate team.
Wouldn't it happen on Sailor White's watch?
No, sir. No, sir.
So, wow, what an unfortunate end to the career. But a little bit of a rosy outline is that Sailor would come back and build the independent scene in St. John's, which is he's still talked about today. I mean, I went to a storytelling thing couple of weeks ago. Somebody brought up Sailor White. Like, everybody's got a Sailor White story. Everybody knows about him. And as I was talking about in the interview too, independent pro wrestling in Newfoundland still holds him in high esteem, and it's running and known about here because of Sailor White.
Absolutely. And he would have a nice little finish to his wrestling career. The WWF, they made their way to Ottawa in 1990, and he would end up facing the British Bulldog in a house show.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. And
so he left on good terms, obviously. They wanted to give him a payday here and there.
Absolutely. So he was remembered fondly throughout the years, and said he had a nice little send-off at the end of his career.
And now, have you listened to this Al Snow story, or...
I have not. No, I have two stories here. One from Al Snow, one from Hannibal. I've not heard either one. I'm very interested in hearing what they have to say about Sailor White.
Actually, you know what? Why don't we come back and see what these stories are about?
Idea. Take a break.
And we'll do predictions, and then we'll close out with some stories.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Okay, so predictions. This is for the upcoming.
Hold on.
Oh, am I jumping the gun again? We have an NXT coming up, do we not?
We do. NXT Deadline. So that's happening as we are recording. It's happening this evening. It is the next step in the Labor's Challenge. Aaron is one step closer to the edge. Certainly looks like he's about to break. This has been a hell of an experience for you. If I lose this week, I will also have to do the challenge that almost killed you, and we'll see what happens. In the meantime, we have.
I'm not allow you to do that challenge. I'm not going to allow you to do that challenge. You can bite into like a really hot fucking pepper or something instead. I don't want you chugging no hot sauce. I don't want anybody going through that. It's not worth it.
Wow. Thanks, Aaron. That's good. He's a real hero, folks. Thank you for saving that. I also, my whole face is feeling raw because of my shaving, and hot sauce would not agree with that. It would very much irritate my mouth. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we got 3 matches that we'll talk about that are happening tonight. First one is Carmelo Hayes versus Lexis King, formerly known as Brian Pillman Jr. Aaron, who do you have in Carmelo Hayes versus Brian Pillman Jr.? What do you think about Lexis King, a.k.a. Brian Pillman Jr.?
I think it's stupid they got to change the names just so they can, I don't know, trade. I don't know. Brian Pillman Jr. Brian Pillman is a wrestler. We all know who Brian Pillman is. We're all wrestling fans. Why not have the kid go by his lineage? I don't get it. Brian Pillman Jr. Why not? Why do they have to change everybody's name? It fucking irritates the shit out of me, especially when it's a stupid ass name like that. But anyway, he's gonna win.
Okay. Boom. There you go. I think that makes sense. Next, we have Dirty Dominic Mysterio versus Dragon Lee for the NXT North American Championship. Who do you got? Actually, maybe I'll go first on this one. Now, he wasn't supposed to be facing Dragon Lee. He was supposed to be facing somebody else who, I don't know, I don't follow it, but the guy hurt himself. He's out for a while, and it was going to be the conclusion of their program. So I guess I'm going to go with Dragon Lee. I feel like the tradition is whoever comes in to sub in the match typically goes on to win these last minute changes. Aaron, what do you think?
Well, that being said, at Survivor Series a few weeks ago, Dragon Lee was a sub and he lost. So
did he lose that match? See, I did. I was at that show. I don't know if I told you, but I was at that show. Did not stay to watch it. I went in. I don't know. Probably got this shirt actually. Nice. I got it for you, and then I found out you didn't like Randy Orton, so now it's mine. Your loss.
Well, my loss. Yeah, that's it. But man, I don't know. I'm gonna go for Dirty Dom here. Dragon Lee said he was jobbed out to us. Santos Escobar at Survivor Series. Wait,
now is Dragon Lee on the main roster, or is he?
Yes.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay. I'm going for. Oh, Jesus! No, I hate this. This is going to be the decider. I bet. I guess I got to stick.
You don't have to. It's fine. You can change it if you want.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, though. I don't know what to do because I really wish I watched the program on this. I guess
are they really going to sub him twice and make him lose twice, and then that's it for him? Pretty much, he might as well just.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's obviously not that big of a deal, and the NXT title, this NXT North American Championship, is not going to go back. But in the same vein, I assume Dirty Dom was being booked to lose this match. So I'm going to go with Dirty Dom because I enjoyed booing him. So I'm going to take Dirty Dom. Thank you for letting me change.
No problem.
Last one is the singles match for the NXT Championship. It's Ilya Dragunov versus Baron Corbin. Ilya Dragunov is the champion. And Obviously, Baron Corbin is the challenger. Aaron, I'm going to let you pick first.
I'm going to regret this pick.
You're going Corbin, are you?
Corbin, I'm going to regret this pick. My only reasoning behind this is so Dragunov can get rid of the title, go to the main roster, and debut at Rumble.
That makes sense. I don't think this is their first match either. I don't think it's that much of a dark horse pick, and it was something I was looking at too. So I think that you might be right about this one. And I kind of hope that Corbin does. I like Baron Corbin.
I've liked Corbin for a long time. It's a shame that he's got to go. I mean, his Happy Corbin was great. His Broke Corbin character was great. I mean, no matter what they've thrown at the man, he's made it to gold. He's a decent wrestler. He's got some good moves. I love the End of Days finisher. He can talk at the mic. I mean, he's good.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah. Okay, well, there you go. That's our predictions. That's the new segment. I've finally gotten around to making a title card for the predictions there.
Very interesting.
What does that mean? That's a bit of a backhanded compliment.
No, it's not a backhanded compliment at all. I love the graphic picture that you got made. The music is it's interesting. It's not saying it's bad. It's different. It's different.
Well, I guess we'll see. We'll see what your true feelings are, whether or not the music changes next week or not. We'll see if I get a little text.
God, that's got to go. No. It's great. It's great.
All right, so let's finish it up by hearing what some other wrestlers thought about Sailor White before we take this bad boy home.
In the Midwest and up in Canada, and George had his promotion and out of Windsor, and he had his TV, and we go work his TV, and he had his main heel was Sailor White, was one of the Moondogs, the original Moondogs, and he they did an angle, and thank God I didn't run in on this because I'd already done my time with Sailor White, he and his brother, which was apparently the how can we kick Al's ass the most until time ran out match. Myself and a guy by the name of Bubba Hawkins. They just kept beating us. Like, make you give up, pin, like 15 minutes of it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I quit minutes ago. We could have stopped this match. But apparently they just had 15 minutes, so let's just continue to beat Al's ass. And I mean, he beat your ass. He was rough. He was really stiff. And this was during a period of time when being as loose as possible was a hallmark. So, it was like working with his coffee table that hit you back. So he was going to.
Lines here. I'm sensing that Sailor White, I'm sensing Sailor White was a bit retarded.
He might be.
Bubba Brazil, and he had like this god awful 5 foot long. It was a shillelagh. I don't know. It was a giant wooden stick with this huge knot on the top of it. And I remember the TV guy comes in, and he's like, where we're watching the monitor, and he goes, in a minute, Sailor White's going to attack Bubba Brazil, and I need you guys to come running in, and you're going to try to make the save. Of course, he's going to, drop all of you. And I'm thinking, oh, he ain't dropping me. I just spent 15 minutes with this guy in the ring. I ain't going back out. And there was a guy called Little Lumberjack sitting beside me, and he's like, you going out? I go, no, I'm not going out. He goes, well, I'm not going out. I said, I'm telling you right now, I ain't going out. He goes, well, I'm not going out. I said, I don't give a shit what you do. I ain't going out. I've just had my ass whooped. And he's got a stick this time. Do you realize he has a stick? I'm not getting hit with a stick. So the guy runs in, and the story goes somewhere. It makes my point. Bubba Guy runs in and goes, "Oh yeah, I need your help." And Lumberjack looks at me, and I look at him, and I'm not going. So he jumps up and runs out. Fool. Because Sailor White wielded that thing like a baseball bat. Just started cracking guys left and right. Guy, he was in the 1980 Olympics when they boycotted the Olympics. Greg Wojciechowski. He was also like working with a couch. He runs out, throws his arm up, breaks his arm. One guy grabs one end of the stick, boom, hits him with the other end of the stick. Just lays out every guy in the territory, laid everybody out. Mid-card guys, low guys, job guys, just killing them all. Okay? It's just bodies laying all around. Who do you think could make the save? But yet, a 58-year-old fat man who was 5'2" by 5'2", George Cannon jumps up from behind the announcer's desk and begins to belly buck, literally bumping him with his belly into submission, Sailor White, until his pants fell down all around off his waist, and then we went off the air. And that was going to be the main event in Coba Hall, was Sailor White against George Cannon.
That is awesome. Well, I think there's a lot more to dig into when it comes to Sailor White, actually. So hopefully we'll be able to find some people here in Newfoundland to speak to what kind of a guy he is. That Al Snow story sort of fleshed out the character a little bit more. Maybe there's a reason why Sailor White is not regarded with such high esteem in Newfoundland. And maybe we'll find out. Aaron, what do you want to say to the folks at home?
I want to say to the folks at home, thank you very much for all your concerns about me, but I am okay. It's a miracle.
What the hell?
Woo! It's a miracle, folks.
You made me carry this entire show, and you were okay the entire time? I don't know what's real and what's not anymore.
What's kayfabe? I don't know. Who knows?
Okay.
I just want to say thank you again to everybody for watching this week. Next week's going to be even better, hopefully.
Okay. Good night. That's it. We're good. I like that. Next week's going to be even better, hopefully.